Hello.
Hi.
Oh my God, why do we always laugh when we see each other?
It just makes me laugh. What's funny is that it's not like the first time we've seen each other today.
We've been together all day, haven't we? And
I've had a lovely day with you.
I have. It's been like the old days, and it dead nice and creative.
Yeah, really, really enjoyed it. We've been so busy, but I think when it's both of us together, it's not the same. I mean, like it doesn't feel like you're working, does it?
No, I think we always think we're going to be like doing a proper work day like normal worky people, but when we're together, it's just funny. It's just like a funny day, isn't it? But also, I always find, and I know you've said this, that like things that I'm good at, you maybe find a bit more challenging, and things that you're good at, I find a bit more challenging. So when we're together, things just flow.
Yeah, it just makes it easier, doesn't it, being together? It's so funny though, because even though that helps it flow, it also causes us some right dramas, doesn't it?
Did today, you would like, obviously, we were updating our website and a few other bits and pieces. And I don't know what was wrong with your fingers today, but you weren't typing properly at all.
Right. I have like finger issues. I don't know what it is, right? But you know this because we text each other like a million times a day.
Yeah, I've got sausage thumbs.
I ham. I ham.
I ham.
My mouth is like my fingers today. But I genuinely believe nobody on this planet can beat me at typos.
Yeah, you do. It's quite funny, actually. Sometimes I read things back and I go, I have no idea what that's even meant to say at all. Like, and I just wait, and then you'll go, oh, stupid typos. And then you'll come back and correct it, and it's still wrong.
And then you get like a jot, not FFS.
Yeah, it is good. But like, I have enjoyed today a lot. And we've got some really nice things happening, haven't we, as pretty much a result of today.
Yeah, I feel like, you know what? I think this is probably a lot to do with why we've both been a little bit stressed because we've been waiting and waiting and waiting to launch our new website, and there's been so much going on behind the scenes. I feel like it's felt like it's put a stop to things, so we've been frustrated that we've kind of wanted to move forward and we can't do, but we can now.
Yeah, by the time this podcast goes out on Saturday, we have a brand new website. Do you want to do the www dot?
No, you've just done it. Like, we can't bore people with W's. Right. What Alex said at besoberofficial.com.
Yeah, besoberofficial.com, and a new email, info@besoberofficial.com.
That's so posh. Like, we've got an actual
But we're not
email.
getting rid of the soberexperiment.co.uk website. We're not getting rid of that. And we've actually also got soberexperiment.com, weirdly, which happened by accident last week. So yeah, we've got 3 websites because we don't, because we can.
But no, it's because we're excessive. We collect websites like we used to collect wine bottles.
Except for they don't clang in the bins.
Speaking of which, right, not only have we got an amazing website that will be out now, we have been working on something really special, haven't we?
It's been funny, hasn't it? I don't think we'll reveal the end of it yet. But yeah, we've got our Be Sober 12 Days of Christmas, which you will be, if you follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and if you don't, you should be doing, so please do. Yeah, check out our daily posts and the grand finale, which is going to land the day before Christmas Eve, 23rd December. Yeah.
Yes, that's
right?
The grand finale. Yeah.
All will be revealed. But yeah, we've had quite a lot of laughs. Us and our ambassadors have we've had fun, haven't we?
It's just been so lovely. Life's so different now. So, you know, like at one time you'd have met up and had fun and what have you. So you've got to find fun in new ways. So this has kind of been a really nice way of bringing us and our ambassadors together to do something for all our members and for everybody. So it's been really, really nice. The ambassadors have really enjoyed it. I've loved working with them on it, and they're lovely. It's just been dead nice. It's just a nice, Christmassy, feel good, lovely, happy thing.
Don't be fooled that we've just done it for everybody else. We just also wanted something in our lives that was a bit less dull.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, we've probably done it for ourselves, really. And you might not, and you might not even like it.
No, you'll have a laugh. I think you'll have a laugh. I think you'll enjoy it. So, yeah, lots and lots has been happening. And although I don't sound too excited right now, it's not because I'm not. It's just because I can't believe we're doing this podcast on an evening. We never do a podcast on an evening anymore because we always realised, and now I know why, because we used to be absolutely exhausted when we did the evening ones, didn't we?
Yeah, that is why. But obviously, because we've been so busy today, we've not been able to fit it in like we normally would. We normally squashed in my wardrobe now.
Yeah, well, earlier on today.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd do a podcast now. So this might come as a bit of a out of the blue, but we're going to make this our last one of this season. Last time we had 25. This is episode 19, I think, Lisa.
Oh, like that's the oddest number to stop on. I wish you hadn't have said that.
Well, actually, we've got 20 because we had the bonus episode as well of Mandy and Kate. So
right, yeah, that's good. Yeah,
so there were 20, even though we've called them episode 19 plus a bonus. But yeah, we thought we'd take a little break now because
we're sick of each other.
Yeah. We just wanted a nice break over Christmas, and we've already started lining up guests for our season 3, which will be back at the end of January, beginning of February. We haven't actually set a date, but it's not going to be a massive break, this one. It will be no later than the first week of February. So yeah, we wanted to take a nice break over Christmas, spend time with our families, and obviously not bore you to death. We might be doing that anyway, but who knows?
Probably are.
We were having a chat today though, weren't we? And I said save it for the podcast because we were talking about holidays, weren't we? We
were talking, because you can't go on. I can't talk. This is definitely why we don't do them at night time. I cannot talk at all.
Come on, talk about your holidays, because we can't go on them at the moment. We got chatting about ones that we did go on, didn't we?
Yeah, we mentally went on holiday.
Yeah, what did you talk about? You said that you drank something.
No shit, Sherlock. But actually this time I think I was like 8. So we brought up a few holiday memories, and when I was about 8 I went on holiday with my mum and stepdad, and in them days like duty free is always a thing, but you could only bring so much home. And my mum had this is really weird because I can't even imagine her drinking Malibu, because that was never her drink of choice. Yeah. But she'd gotten all these drinks and she needed to get rid of it. Otherwise, she won't be able to get it through duty free. So she'd poured, for whatever reason, the crazy bloody woman had poured like a full glass of Malibu and left it at the side of the bed. I bet looking back, she'd been pissed the night before, thought, oh, yeah, I'll have that. and then never drank it. Anyway, I'd been playing in the pool, ran upstairs to the apartment and saw a can of 7-Up next to it. So literally just thought it was 7-Up and knocked it back all them, because I was so thirsty. It was really hot. It was so I just drank the whole lot. Anyway, knocked me clean out. Literally, that was my first blackout. I was 8. I didn't wake up with anxiety though, from what I remember. I didn't get up to out daft. But my mum had come upstairs and was like, God, she's fast asleep. She's been asleep for 2 days. I realised that I drank this glass of Malibu. I nearly drained that holiday too,
Because you were pissed?
No, just separately. They had a really dangerous step, from the shallow end of the pool, and it just dropped into a real deep end, and I mustn't have been able to swim properly, so it kind of just dropped. My mum had to, this is dead funny because she told everybody she dived in, right? She never dived in. I've never seen a dive in my life, so I think she kind of star jumped in this freezing cold pool because nobody would get in it because it was so cold. So she star jumped into this pool to save my life, right? So she technically saved my life. But you know what I did? And I feel, I was still all guilt from a very long time ago.
Were you embarrassed?
No, yeah, I was embarrassed. But when I went back to school, right, I told everybody about this incident that had happened. But instead of saying my mum saved me, I said, and I just swam underwater to the other end and just pulled myself out of the pool.
See, this is a situation like Josh Connolly talks about, isn't it, where it's just as easy to tell the truth, but for whatever reason, you just make something up.
I just completely made it up. I made up that, like, it must have been such a shit story too. Like, I fell in a pool and then I swam to the other end and got out.
Like a hero from Baywatch.
Yeah, that is like who won? Dick.
You know what though? You've just like proper given me some memories as well. And one of them is I was about 7 in Corfu on a holiday with my mum and dad. The only holiday we ever went on abroad, actually. And me and my sister were on lilos in the middle of this pool, and it was like October time, so it wasn't a hot holiday. It was warm enough, but it wasn't hot.
Knowing that it was October time when you were like 6.
7 I was. I was
7. Who knows what month it is?
Well, the only reason I know what month it is because I know I'd left a primary school because we were moving out of the pub to another house. Wow. And I hadn't started at primary school, so I know it was October 1980.
Your memory, Alex, is incredible. Like, it actually really is, isn't it? You do this all the time, yeah?
Yeah, I remember being like 2.
Yeah, see, I've got memories of things like that, but dates and months, never. I have no clue. I wouldn't know my own birthday if people didn't tell me.
You only found out mine about a year ago. But anyway,
sorry, go on.
Since you got sober, you've been great. So, yeah, couple of stories from that holiday. So we were in the pool floating around on our lilos, and then for whatever reason all these adults, including my mum and dad, were diving in around us, and they must have all been pissed looking back, you know, like playing in. And at the time it seemed dead weird, but then I think about it and I think, well, my mum would have only been like 32, 33. She'd have been at the peak of her kind of having fun, even though she had young kids. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. That's so weird, holiday,
I nearly drowned. How weird is that? Well, no, mine's not as dramatic as yours, but obviously I always make it dramatic. I was walking and I wasn't looking where I was going, and I stepped off into the deep end, and my dad actually caught me by the back of my clothes.
Oh, wow.
It got me. And so I didn't nearly drown at all. I just nearly fell in.
That's really weird, because now I've got another memory, right, of a holiday that I went on, and this isn't even an interesting story, but they had a massive diving board. They used to, you know, like where they go higher, and I remember clearly being at the top of this really high diving board, and you know that like nervousness about whether to jump off or not.
Yeah.
And like some people don't jump off, do they? And like the way I did it is, well, I'll just do it. I just go, right, I'm just going to do it. And I banged my head. I dived in and actually banged my head on the bottom of the pool.
What is wrong with us in these swimming pools? Because you know what? I've got another 2 stories about a swimming pool. One of them, when I was about 11, I was at a girl's birthday party at the swimming pool, Whitworth Baths, right? And it had a really shallow end. And I didn't know, I'd never been before. So what I did, ran and jumped in and honestly twisted both my ankles really bad.
That swimming baths, they had a really, right, they had a big slide, yeah, but then at the deep end they had like a little really scary slide that were dead wiggly. Do you remember?
Yeah, it was fast.
Like they had a diving board there as well that was really scary. That's
but
so
not at the shallow
funny.
end. And the thing was as well, because I was embarrassed because I'd hurt both my ankles. I just carried on and pretended I'd not done it. I was in so much pain, Lisa.
Alex, why do we do that, right? Once, when I can't believe where this is going, but when I was walking to primary school, right, I was walking and I saw these 2 lads on the other side of the road. And as I was looking at them at the other side of the road, one was in my class and one was a few years older, right? So I was being dead nosy. And as I did it, you know, the road next to the New Inn pub that we used to have?
Yeah, it's like a main road, yeah.
Yeah, I stepped into it. No, yeah, the little one.
The little one
on the side, yeah. So as I was looking, I stepped into the road and I got run over, right? But not like really bad run over, because it was just like, which made it worse, I think. Well, I don't know if it did. But the car was coming to a stop anyway. So then it kind of, all right, I didn't get run over as such. I got hit by this car. But I fell to the floor, right? I actually fell to the floor and I got up and I remember him jumping out and saying, oh my God, are you all right? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Because I was just so embarrassed and I was in so much pain. Oh, that's funny.
But it happens a lot with stuff that. Going back to swimming pools, listen to this one. I might have told this on the podcast before. If I have, I'm really sorry if I'm repeating myself. I have a tendency to do this. I think it's my age. My daughter, who's now 13, when I lived in Cyprus, we were invited to a birthday party of a 4-year-old's birthday party. And you know what it was like? We've talked about this before.
Yeah, only on the last one, I think.
Yeah, last week. Well, this was a particularly rich house, and a lot of them are because they're expats. They come over from Russia, and that's where they invest their money in Cyprus. And parents, especially if I worked in a private school out there, and therefore Daniel got a free place because I couldn't afford to do that. I got a free place. So all the
That's why mine went to a Cypriot school and I've no clue what anybody was saying for 6 months.
Leah, she was at a nursery, you know, it was a Greek Cypriot nursery, but the school. So I got to know all these really wealthy people and really wealthy. So, like, there was no way I was having them round at my house. But they had me round at theirs. Anyway, we went there and it was like open bar. They had a magician in the house. They had fire eaters in the garden. They had a lazy river around the pool. 3 or 4 different barbecue stops. One for seafood, one for vegetarian, one for meat. It was like amazing. It was. There's no... there's no going back on that. It was amazing. Wine on tap. Everybody's just stood round and there's waiters coming round pouring you drinks in the garden. It was incredible.
Freaking heck, I want to go to Cyprus now. I want to go back.
It was beautiful, Lisa. Honestly, it was. Anyway, all these kids are in the pool and Leah had one of those life jackets on. It was pink life jacket. And I'll be honest, I will have been pissed. Certainly tipsy. Certainly on my way. I'd had quite a few wines. And I just happened to look at the pool because all the kids were playing in there. She'd have been about 18 months old and she was upside down in the water with her legs hanging out in this life jacket and she couldn't get the right way around. You know, you talk about risky stuff and near misses.
Yeah.
And it wasn't summertime. It was kind of autumn. So it was jeans and T-shirt weather. And I actually just ran into the pool in my jeans and boots and turned her around. And I was like, oh, she's all right. But I was panicking, obviously. Yeah. My daughter and upside down. But I remember the owner, the woman coming up to me saying, oh, you're my hero saving that child. I was like, hey, wasn't anyone's child, that was mine. I
wouldn't have saved yours, mate.
Wouldn't have been bothered about any of the others. Listen, no, joking though aside, it was really serious, you know what I mean?
Did your ex not save Ben in your house in Cyprus? Do you remember?
God, he drove his little car, Leah's little car into the pool, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Oh no! See, I'm agreeing with you. No, I'm agreeing with you, and I know that's not the truth, right?
That was Leah as well. Then she drove her own car in the pool. So that's another thing.
I remember that car around it, but no, Ben literally just stepped in. We were all sat round drinking. Having a drink, right, that's all right when you're over here and the kids are in the living room, like throwing cushions at each other, but not when you live in a foreign country and there's a pool. It's like ridiculous. Yeah. But yeah, we was all kind of sat around.
We were on my pool?
Yeah, yours. Yeah. And then Ben just stepped in and it was your ex that actually jumped in and saved him.
How weird. Why did none of you two get up?
Well, we're hoping you wouldn't ask that, but I was kind of thinking that myself. I think you were just nearer. I think he was just like a lot nearer.
I agree. No, I kind of remember he was already stood up. We were sat round the table, if I remember right.
Yeah, we was.
I was poking fun at your husband's flip flops without him.
Oh, don't make me feel sick. Crossed legs and flip flops.
Do you remember me going like
He's done.
Pointing at him? Oh,
I know.
You know, as well, Leah's
I blame you for my divorce
about it because there's that one, but the other one is, and it's similar to your story about you drinking. We were at it must have been like a Christmas or New Year's Eve party because all the family were there, and they've got this thing, the family, where, and anyone drinking actually, where you always think the kids are having a nice time.
Yeah.
you know, and you send them off and they all entertain each other and they do.
Oh, they love it. That's what you said. They love it. They love being together. Oh, they get to stay up late.
And there's loads of them. But what actually happens at some of those loads of kids is actually really horrible. Like, Daniel was being dangled upside down at one party by older kids by his feet. And I've heard worse about kids. You know, it's not nice, is it? Some dangerous stuff can happen to kids when you're all pissed.
You know what? Definitely. Looking back, when, like, probably in the last couple of years of me drinking, when I used to go to kitchen parties and we all had kids around the same age, so we used to kind of all put them in the living room and we'd be in the kitchen, and that becomes normal because you think the kids are enjoying it, and then you're walking like, there might be some people listening like, that's not normal, I've never done that, that's actually really bad. And they should have been taken off you, and you're probably right. But like walking home at like ridiculous hours in the morning, but like saying, the kids have really enjoyed it.
Mine used to say that. They say it now when they say, oh yeah, and we've walked back from loads of school events, because like I've told you this at the primary school, they had a big, like, at the primary school end of year leavers do for the year sixes, they had drink on all the tables, you could bring your own, and we were all walking back, us and other parents, drunk, and the kids are like, you're thinking they're having a nice time, and I was telling them I loved them, and apparently that's what I used to do, as you know, and because I do love them. More when I was drunk. And they said, oh, we used to hate it when you did that, Mum, like you'd always just be telling us all the time you loved us. I was like, it's not very sincere. But Leah in particular, at this party at my auntie's, all the kids were playing together, and she did the same. She downed a glass of vodka that my mum gave her because she wanted a drink of water. My mum handed her a glass of vodka, got it mixed up, it wasn't water at all, and she was about 4, 5.
It's bad.
And you just go, ha, she's had vodka.
You're just not responsible at all. It's actually fucking ridiculous. Like, honestly.
I feel a bit strongly about that.
No, I do. Looking back at, honestly, the stuff and what went on in some of these houses that I went to, actually, you know, like, especially cocaine is quite a normal thing now for people, a lot more than when we were younger. But, like, people having cocaine in one room while all the kids are playing in another, like, it's actually fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Wow. but being in them situations, you know, I remember going to a kid's birthday party, and I never really did that at this time. I've not got into it yet. But like, I remember going to a kid's birthday party and seeing 3 of the mums rush around trying to get hold of where they could get some cocaine from, and it was like at 4:00 in the afternoon for a kid's birthday party.
It's weird because I think I've mentioned this before as well. Anything like people going to baby showers. I heard somebody the other day call a baby shower boring because there was no alcohol there. And actually, that's how it should be, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, once I went to a baby shower, right? It was my friend's, and
well, I didn't think just rocked up and get.
Gone there, I'd finished work, went straight there. I remember because I had this weird dress on, and I look back at pictures and I looked ridiculous, but I'd gone straight from work and hardly knew anybody, so I then nervously drank because that's what I always did. That's why I used to get pissed at school events, because I was nervous around other parents, so I'd drink to be funny, you know, like to try and be the life. And so went to this baby shower. Don't even remember seeing my friends who were having the baby that much, and ended up going into Littleborough with the photographer and getting the photographer and my friend's brother, and then went to town. Didn't even give a shit about the baby shower. How selfish is that? Like, I know in my head, I didn't go at all for her or the baby. I went to get pissed.
Well, that's the same with most things that we did, because I was thinking about, you know, you've just reminded me of something else. Like the first time.
Right, happy, and now I'm mad at myself.
Well, I'll make you happy again now. We never lost touch, but we didn't spend any time together in our kind of 20s.
early 20s, I'd say.
Up till being about 29. I remember us seeing each other at like 29 and thinking, oh my God, like we looked like women, and we were laughing because we actually did a Skype call. Do you remember? We had wine.
Oh my God, that was so funny. I remember where you were sat, and you were sat on your sofa.
And it felt dead weird that you had glasses on because then you were glasses on and you looked like a proper woman.
Oh, I reckon I looked older then than I do now.
Probably. And we decided to have a night out, didn't we, in Knutsford?
Yeah.
And we gate crashed a wedding that night.
We did. That was your fault, as always.
I don't think it was.
No, you are an instigator. Well, you was. Like you were. You would say things were a good idea. Like I come across like I'm a leader, right? But I'm not. I'm an actual follower.
Pretty sure you said let's go in this wedding.
No, you used to make me anxious when we went out because you were so confident. Like, don't forget, I had proper social anxiety. So you, even now to this day, when we went to the radio station and you wanted to do a headstand.
Also that the other day where I was on that rock and then doing the headstand next to Upsy Daisy, and I thought I was going to mention that to you. I thought, oh, this is the photo that really made Lisa anxious.
Yeah, I got so nervous because you're like, I want to do this headstand. And it just, oh my God, I can feel it now, the anxiety, I'm jiggling, I can't cope with it. And that's what you do. Like when we went to Knutsford that time and that football team in the morning, they were having the breakfast and they tried knocking on our door in the night and shouted at him. You shouted at him in your teacher voice when he touched your leg, right?
He did touch my leg, Lisa. He was like, he didn't just touch it, he stroked it. Get out!
They knocked on the door, didn't they? Like, they must have heard giggly voices because me and you were giggling at gate crashing weddings, and then we heard this knock at the door. You answered it, and this guy were there in the full trackie because they thought they were well good because it was a professional football team, so they had all the trackies on. Knocked on the door, and what did he say? Why are you brushing your teeth?
Why are you brushing your teeth? Because I must have answered the door, brushing my teeth, ready for bed, and I went, why are you knocking on our door? And he went, well, I heard the party and I wanted to come because we'd been downstairs afterwards in the bar, haven't we? We'd had a few drinks in the bar afterwards. And you thought that Paul Inks was the ginger one.
Was the ginger one, yeah.
We did get a little bit mixed up between Paul Ince and Paul Scholes, but we won't go back there with that. And we were talking to the barman, and then he heard us laughing. He wanted to join the party. And I was like, there is no party. We're just going to bed. And he was like, well, can I come there then? I was like, no. Like, it was just... And then he touched my leg because I had tights on. Yeah, and I said, what are you doing? And he was like, I can't remember what he said now, but I went like that, get out and bite.
It was the first time in my adult life I'd seen you as a proper teacher. So, like, obviously I knew you were a teacher, right? But I never knew how good your teacher voice was until you told him to get out.
In bed, doing nothing. You were fucking useless.
Well, I was. You know what, though, thinking about this, and as funny as it were, because that's what I was saying, in the morning after, you wanted to go and tell the manager, a very famous football manager, what they'd got up to. And I woke up with this dread and anxiety and fear, and you wanted to march up and say, your perfect football team were knocking on our door. And I was like, please don't, please don't, please don't. Please. Will you get me an extra sausage from the buffet? Please don't, please don't.
The breakfast and all you wanted was an extra sausage, and you made me promise that I wouldn't go via their table.
Oh, I was so, the anxiety was awful. But thinking about it, right, you did have every right now I'm more grown up, every right to go and speak to their manager, because actually we or you, should I say, handled that really well. And I remember saying at the time, if we'd have been younger,
or on our own.
Oh, yeah. Well, we might not have been laughing loudly on our own, but yeah, they saw girls go into that room and they're knocked on for one reason. When you hear like these stories of these hotels and football players and stuff like that, it really made me think like, oh, hang on a minute. That could have been very, very dangerous.
Yeah, it could have been, and I was proper angry with him. But I can do stuff like that. You know, like,
no!
Out of our bedroom. But I can't, like, it's not often that I do it, but I can actually find my balls sometimes and like proper go for people when they're like that.
I think you've proper got balls with stuff like that. But
Perfect.
like we said before, we're quite good at different things. So where you've got balls in one thing, and I'm like, no, I'll have it in something completely different. So it's
sometimes when I hear you having a direct conversation on the phone to somebody,
like when we decided to merge Sober Experiment and Be Sober, and we had a guy come round who wanted to rebrand us.
Oh, you see, now I want to die. You see, now there's where I did not have any balls whatsoever. I was trying to pacify him, and you were just like, nah, you're not for us.
It wasn't though, it was horrific. He'd not done his work or his research. He'd come round and he'd said he were going to come round, and he had all these ideas and he'd show us this stuff that he's done, and we were so excited and passionate and wanted to kind of really go for it. And he come round in his posh roofless car and his posh suit, and he'd done nothing.
He had a few notes on his phone, didn't he?
He was looking at his notes on his phone and reading them out, like what I used to do on podcasts at the beginning.
Oh dear, it's so true. It's so true.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, we do have strengths in different areas, and that there's some funny times. I wish I could think of some more now, because I know there's been other occasions where certainly I've nearly got in trouble and like got myself out of it in a certain way like that.
I've always got into trouble. I never got myself out of it.
Yeah, you do. Mind you, I suppose you didn't really, because you had anxiety the next day because you didn't.
Yeah, definitely.
When did your anxiety start?
It's so crooked on you all, Alex.
It's not actually. It's the angle of this. It's actually really straight. I know it looks crooked, but I promise you it is. I was looking at it myself thinking, is that crooked? But it's not. If you look at my headboard, it's in line with it.
All right.
I don't know why it's done that. I can't figure it out at all. Perspective's dead weird. Oh well. I know that's been in your head in for ages, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Right, that's what we were going to say. You know, when you said we've had some good times, and as always, I just think it's dead important to kind of say, you know, like, you can remember the good times. It's all right. We just don't want to make the mistake of letting it fool us into thinking that drinking again's all right. But I think it'd be a lie if we was like, it was always awful, it was shit, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Because it wouldn't be true, and we wouldn't be being true, because we've been best friends since I was 11.
Yeah.
And we have had the majority of that time, in truth, we were pissed. So...
And it was funny for a majority of that time.
Yeah, it was.
It goes bad when it goes bad, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
That's a really obvious statement to make, but it's not bad until it stops serving you all of a sudden, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And now everything's like, I wouldn't ever even oh God, I'd hate to drink.
You see, I wouldn't. And you know what surprised me? I put it on my own Instagram the other day. I passed my 18-month mark last week.
Oh, I saw that. Congratulations.
Thank you. I didn't even notice. Didn't even notice it. And so I'm clearly not thinking about being sober.
I think I want to look how much I've done now.
Well, you can have a look, but I just wasn't thinking about being sober anymore. And this got me thinking about other people who were striving at the beginning of the journey. And at the beginning, you forget how tough it plumbing is. And anyone who's starting out or who's doing it right now and thinking, I'm finding this really hard, why do they find it so easy? I just want to assure you that we didn't always find it this easy. It wasn't always as straightforward as just not drinking. It took effort, it took work every single day, and planning not to drink. And what will I do when the thought of having a drink comes up? Do you remember my first sober holiday?
Yeah.
Going back full circle.
Yeah.
And I'd only been sober a month, and I went walking past restaurants, and honestly, it was on that holiday that I realised just how much holidays revolve around drinking for everybody. Yeah. But I actually had such a good time not drinking. But there were wine everywhere. That was the first time I experienced a proper craving that. Like walking past the wine shop and thinking, I've done a month now, I could just have one. You know, that fantasise.
Yeah.
Just have one. I'm on holiday and then I can start again when I get home. And it would have been so easy to do that.
It's mad, isn't it? Because the feeling of when you haven't, I did the same in Canada, because that was my first. I'd gone to see my stepdad, who, and that's his whole social life. So it was literally going to the pub every night. And I found it not that difficult, but there were times I didn't have conversation. I didn't have anything in common with people who I were talking to.
Sore thumb, don't you?
Yeah, you do really in the early days. I think you do feel like you, and I'm quite tall, right? So I feel like I really stick out like a sore thumb. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you don't, the conversation doesn't flow the same because you're not around people that are on the same kind of journey as you, so you do feel like, yeah, you stick out a little bit. And I remember finding it quite difficult and thinking, not that I wanted a drink, but should I just have it, because I know that I'd be the life and soul of this party if I did. I'd put these lot to shame. Do you know what I mean? That was in the back of my head.
Ego coming out, because even now, there's no way I drink now. There's just no way. But when I see people on nights out, I still think, this isn't a night out. You're not having a night out. You want to see a night out? Watch me go with my Sambuca that Lisa's going to force down my neck. Watch me get on a table and have a little dance. Do you know what I mean? And I still,
true.
You know, I'd still get a little bit of FOMO, but FOMO not as in I wish I was doing it, just FOMO as in I'd show you.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like I'd show you how to party. I've said it. Ben, like, he told one of it was last summer actually, and one of his friends had come round, and he really proudly actually said that his mate went about drinking and was like, "Oh, have a drink, Lisa." I was going to say you call me Mrs. Ellsworth then, like I lived in America.
Why would you do that?
I don't know, like, because I like to make stories up today. Like when I saved myself in the swimming pool. But it was like, oh, I have
Mrs. Ellsworth.
Yeah, it was like, have a drink. And then Ben was like, oh no, my mum done drinking. He was like, boring. And then it was Ben that went, boring. She could party better than any of us when she... And I was like, I was secretly really chuffed, right? But secretly really not as well, that my own son was saying that.
Yeah, I get it.
Well, we're like, yeah, man, I could party.
It's funny because I was telling somebody today that I don't drink anymore, and like the reaction was like, never. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, people actually are more intrigued than you think they're going to be, aren't they?
They are. It's funny because I remember people saying that, but I don't actually see people anymore. So nobody asks me.
Because you're too busy swimming around underwater.
Saving myself. But no, I don't really see people, and the only people I kind of socialise with are sober people, so nobody says it anymore. Although, oh no.
Well, you're going to make another story up then? Well,
no, I was going to tell a little story of where I went last week, but then I thought I better not, so moving swiftly on.
Well, definitely moving swiftly on, because I don't know if we've got any more to say this season, apart from like, we hope that everybody has a lovely Christmas.
It's getting desperate when you get back to your 7-year-old stories.
Yeah. But we do genuinely hope you all have like a really wonderful sober Christmas. We are still here for you to reach out to, and check out our new website and follow our 12 Days of Christmas posts.
Yay! And we're on the sober sessions as well on what date? Your good
19th, Saturday the 19th, 7 till 8 p.m. for a little one-off special. I nearly sounded like Sean Connery, James Bond then. I better not start talking about Sean Connery because he's not here with either anymore, is he?
Oh no, don't
go down these holes about death.
I didn't even know that he had died.
Yeah, that was quite recent, that.
Oh, was it?
Dead. Oh God, I'm gonna shut up.
Oh no, don't. Yeah, please check out our website. I just want to say before we go, what's on the website. We've got the Sober Experiment on there.
Yeah.
we've got a brand new membership, which we're really, really excited about. So normally, like the sober lounges and the Sunday drop-in sessions are like £3.50 for, it's about an hour and a half, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we're doing a membership where it's £9.99 a month, and they're unlimited then, so you can pop in and drop into any of our sessions as part of the membership. You also get a free Be Sober cap.
Is that in that one? I didn't realise.
Yeah, I've just added it on a minute ago.
Oh, God. We're going to have a lot of hats going on here, guys.
There's a lot of hats. Yeah, you get a free hat and the membership pack, which is like, we've updated the journal, haven't we?
Yeah.
And made a membership pack, which we're really, really proud of. It's dead good. And you know what? Even if you're already sober, but you're needing like something to focus on, that journal will really help.
Yeah, if you're in our Facebook group, it's downloadable free there in the files, but you can get a hard copy from Amazon. It's only £6.99, and it's literally got so much in it that will help you to get and stay sober. And it's probably one of the cheapest things to follow to do it.
It's easy. It's so easy. It's like not, if you can't be arsed reading, right? It's not like a long, greedy book of jobs, is it? It's just simple.
One paragraph a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't it?
So lazy we are.
You know what? It's not
dead
easy.
good.
It's simple. It's simple.
That is what it is.
Yeah. It's a very simple way to get sober and to change your mindset, which you know we're all about changing mindset. Yes. Oh, as well, little mention, we've just both finished our NACOA volunteer training.
Oh, yes.
So just a little shout out here. If you are a school teacher, or you're in the police force, or you're anyone who works with any form of child services.
If you're a person.
Please get in touch with us, because we're doing the volunteer speaking for NACOA training staff and speaking to kids about the service. And honestly, we did the training last night and we've finished our NACOA training now. It will be absolutely invaluable if you're working with children. So please get in touch, because it's free. It's all run through the charity, and it's 30 minutes of your staff's time or your colleagues' time. It really won't take up that much time.
Not 30 minutes as well, and it actually can be life-changing for people, that, can it?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. You know, even if you make a difference with one child, you're saving somebody's childhood. You really are. But it's actually more like 1 in 5. You're going to be helping 1 in 5 children. So if you know anybody who wants to get us in to do this free 30-minute chat, for professionals, or actually for children of all ages, get in touch and we'll come and do it for you.
Well, you're saying it. Do you just want to say a brief bit about what actually NACOA is and how it will help children? Because not many people do know about it and how helpful it can be, even for their own children.
Yeah, okay. Well, NACOA is a charity called the National Association for Children of Alcoholics, but actually it's for children of all ages, adults as well, where they feel they are growing up or have grown up in an environment where one or both parents drinks too much. So the word alcoholic is there, but it's actually just about whether that parent drinks too much. They've got the helpline there where children, even young children supervised by a teacher, can phone in and just have somebody to talk to. And it can be something like sharing the fact that they've got good exam results, or even having a little story read to them. It can be very simple. It's not always about counselling and advice, although that is available as well. There's a message board on there, so people can actually go onto the website and have a conversation in like a forum. And again, there's loads of useful topics on there. And then there's the speaking, and obviously there's loads of resources, leaflets for professionals. It's just a fantastic resource. So if you want to know more, the best thing to do is just to go and have a look at the brand new website, which is www.nacoa.org.uk, and then email us and we will come and speak to you.
Yes, and it's all completely confidential as well.
Completely confidential. Like, even if you phone, it doesn't even show up on the phone bill. It's an amazing, amazing, amazing thing.
Yes. Before we go now as well, check out, I know there's so much in there. There's literally so much.
Have we done another episode?
Yeah. Please check out our new website, www.besoberofficial.com. We've also got the merch on there. And those that can see on YouTube, right? So if you're watching, I'm sorry that you can't see this, but you'll have to imagine it. But I'm not very good at describing, so I don't know what you're going to imagine. But these hoodies, how good are these with the embroidered logo on them?
So let me just tell you, because that was a shit description, right? Lisa is holding up a grey, kind of charcoal grey hoodie with no zip on it. It's the pullover type hoodie.
Yeah.
And on the left breast, it says "Be Sober" in our logo, and it's actually embroidered in. It is beautiful.
It's so pretty. I prefer the embroidered one. These printed ones on my pink t-shirt, which adds 9 stone onto me.
It really doesn't. She's actually with it.
It's really lovely. But yeah, check out the merch because it's well nice.
It is nice.
That's it.
And you don't add 9 stone on to you at all?
No, that's just me being all like insecure.
She's been like this all day. We'll explain another time.
I think it's time of the month. See you later.
Bye.